Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is another film review. This is Behemoth, B-E-H-E-M-O-T-H, or apparently it's Volcanosaur. Apparently that's the other name for it, but it doesn't make any sense with that name, I suppose. It's a TV movie. Amazon has it down as a sci-fi, suspense, comedy, horror, fantasy, adventure, action. Horror, yes. Adventure, yeah. Action, yeah. The others, no. It's a 2011 film. It's rated 18 in Amazon. It's an hour and 30 minutes. Amazon rating is 3 out of 5. IMDb is 3.6 out of 10. Now, the Amazon synopsis is completely and utterly wrong. It says, a journalist is jailed and sent to an asylum. No, I'm not going any further. It isn't that. Maybe they've got the wrong name mixed up, but it's not that. They've got the right actors in it, but not the right synopsis. So, I'm going off the IMDb one. Scientists discover a giant creature under the Earth that is wrapped around the entire planet. When the creature wakes up all grumpy, it causes worldwide destruction. Kind of, I suppose. So the director is W.D. Hogan. That's, W.D. in the letters, Hogan. Who did Letter Never Sent. Producers, there's 4 of them, so I picked the main one, and it's John Prince, who produced Sea Beast. Music was by Michael Nielsen, Neilson, who did The Thor. The cast, again, is I picked the main ones. We have Ed Quinn, Quinn, who was Thomas Walsh, and he was in True Blood. Cindy Busby, Busby, who was Grace Walsh, and she was in The Big Year. Pascal Hutton, Hutton, who was Emily Allington, and she was in Sanctuary. T.Y. Olson, who was Jack Murray, who was in X-Men 2. Jessica Parker Kennedy, who was Zoe, who was in The Flash. And William B. Davis, who was William Walsh, and he was in The X-Files. As soon as I saw his name, I was like, oh, it's him! It was filmed in Squamish in British Columbia in Canada, and apparently the budget was $1.3 million. But remember, it's a TV movie, so you don't expect loads of special effects. So it starts off with this kind of somber music, a view over the mountains, trees and waterfalls. It actually looked like a nice place. I was curious where it was. Well, obviously it was in British Columbia, so it looks beautiful. I'd love to go there. Maybe not at this moment when I was watching the film, but definitely when I was, watching the beginning bit. 3 minutes in, the first death, and you actually see the body. I'm not giving the film away as such, but basically she just died of a steam vent. But you actually do see it, and it's like, oh, good. At least now we know what's going on. Literally hardly any longer. Some dude died by a tree falling on his leg. So he confused others with him as well. I was confused. I was like, what the hell? How can he die? I mean, did he die of shock? It didn't look like it. So, the main guy, who was Ed Quinn, met his ex, who was Pascal Hutton. Of course, it's a bit uncomfortable. Oh, yes, it's you. Oh, you knew where this was going as soon as you saw it. It's not like they're sort of going to part companies again. And his father, who was William B. Davis, the guy from the X-Files, apparently researches the Behemoth, a Leviathan. It was quite interesting actually. He was talking about it, a little bits and bats, and of course they were all just like, yeah, whatever, Dad, or Pop. I don't know what they called him. Obviously, you have to have. It's a creature from under the earth. I mean, that's what it says. It's a giant creature under the earth. It swallows up this guy in his house. The house just sort of disappears. Now, it kind of reminds me of Tremors. If you've not seen Tremors, watch it. It's a rated 15 film. It's creatures underneath the ground. That's about as far as I'm going to tell you. But it's a really good film with Kevin Bacon and some other dude in there. I can't remember his bloody name. The first one is the best. Then it kind of gets a bit silly. The second one's okay, and then it just gets crap after that. I suppose. I don't know. Depends how you look at it. Anyway, whatever. So, like I say, everyone's just agreeing with his old man, the dad, they're like, yeah, whatever, let's just humour him. But it's lots of mythology, he's going into full depth and stuff like that, and it's like, well, that's interesting. So, um, who was it now? Cindy Busby and her boyfriend, who was James Kirk, who was Jared. He's actually the image on the DVD cover. He's dangling down and she's hanging on for dear life. That image. I mean, you don't see the creature isn't that near, but that's basically what is actually happening on the picture. But they see the creature's eye poking out of a hole in a rock. It's about the size of an actual person. It's this eye, and it's just like poking out. I had to poke it back, but you know, whatever. But the creature's pretty impressive. You know, its head popped up, it moved its jaw, it started clenching a bit. And of course the dad's discussing it again, talking about mythology. It was actually interesting. I was curious myself, so I've actually bookmarked the Wikipedia page. I'm going to read that later, because it's just like, I've heard of it, but that's about as far. But I enjoyed the creature. You know, it was definitely good. And the music's good. It was enticing you in. I can't explain the kind of music, but it was. I'm not saying like. I'm not like not that kind of music, but kind of like I don't know. You probably heard it in some films when you've watched it, and it really grabs you. There's some music in the background, and they're not chanting, but they're kind of doing the chant of a if you watch a horror film and there's some sort of devil worshipping, that kind of music in the background, that sort of music. Not black metal, but the music in the film. But yeah, there's not much I can really say about it. I enjoyed the entire film. It was a good film when the creature appeared. I mean, it was a bit kind of, what the hell's going on? You don't actually know what Ty Olsen's doing, wandering around, but then you find out a bit later on. Yeah, and what's her name? Zoe. She's in charge of the Jessica Parker, who's playing Zoe. She's in charge of the diner where the dad keeps going all the time. But the music was good, and it matched the scenes. Now, also again, the music didn't stay on all the time. So where there was nice quiet parts where no music was going on, you could actually hear stuff. So nice, and it matched the scene. So there'd be some sort of action scene, or there'd be a gentle bit of music in the background because they're just, I don't know, walking by a waterfall or something like that. So it's quite enjoyable. I understood all the characters, I understood the backstories. Now I'm only going to give it a 5 out of 10, purely because the beginning, you can tell when it's an earthquake, but it's not, sort of thing. Let's all just move the camera and stand around like a, move your body, but don't move your hair. That sort of thing. But it's a TV movie, so I wasn't expecting loads. And people always say, "Oh, well, it's awful," but the creature was good. As usual, they had to kill it. Sorry, I've just given the film away. But I mean, because you have to, don't you? Because you can't just let it live. Because that'd just be, that would just be good in my mind. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed watching this film review of Behemoth. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of other film reviews. I mostly do game reviews and let's plays, but I have branched out to do some films out then. I have taken a few requests. 4 films have been requested. 2 off each person even, and get my bloody teeth in right. Of which obviously this doesn't matter, but I am going to be doing one of them soon. I just need to watch it, obviously. Those won't be the really corny films, by the way. Some of these, I think these are ones that people really. I mean, one of them's got a high rating. I can't remember what this next one is I'm going to be watching, but they're decent films, and I don't mind if somebody's asked me for one, I'll review them. But I usually go for I don't know. I've gone for some other ones. I've done some black and whites. Are actually quite good. But yeah. Anyway, like I say, hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me the old thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave a comment in the comment box below. Have you watched this film? Did you enjoy it? Did you, I don't know, find some things a bit kind of corny? Okay, thank you and goodbye.